Charles. How's it going? Okay, here's your reading purpose. Ooh. That might be your card. They say when the cards jump out at you, okay, that's a sure sign that this is the card for you. And the fact that, two cards just fell out of the deck for you. So this is what I'm going to do your reading on. I didn't even get a chance to shuffle or do anything. Now I do have your profile picture pulled up on Facebook, so I'm using that to connect, to form a link of sorts and focus on providing you whatever information it is that you need at this time. Let's see if I can. It's probably not going to work. That's interesting. That's the Nine of Wands and the Hermit. Okay, this is the Nine of Wands here, and this is the Hermit. Both of them are number 9. You can see by the Roman numeral here and here. Okay, and in this card we have 9 of Wands. Those are the long brown things. They look like sticks or staffs. They are associated with the element of fire, and they represent work or maybe business, something that is work for you or work that you do. 9 is a number of completion. It's a number that signifies wrapping up and an end to things. And as with all endings, there is also the potential and the possibility and the presence of a beginning, because you can walk out of a door and you can walk through another one. A doorway is just that. It may be an ending for one thing, and it may be a beginning for something. So it looks like something, a struggle, is coming to an end for you with regard to a work or business situation that you have been dealing with. And we can look at this card and see the person who's featured there. He's standing, but he's bandaged. And so it looks like, with the wrap around his head, he's been through a struggle. He's been through a challenge. And what this card is showing us is that he did survive it, even though he's a little bruised and beat up for his troubles. He did survive it, and now he is ready to move on to the next phase of his life. And you can see that on the staffs themselves there are leaves or branches protruding, which which symbolizes the ability of fire, which again, this card, the element this card is associated with, which the branches signify or symbolize the ability of fire to bring new life. Fire can be destructive, and if it's uncontrolled, it will burn everything down. But in the wake of the fire, new life will spring up. And in fact, action does produce results, which is what this card is saying. Um, this other card here, this one right here, this is a major arcana card, and it's different from this card because this is not a major arcana card. This card is talking about a very everyday occurrence, what we would call mundane in the occult. Is something that you deal with on a day-to-day basis, dealing with your life, such as work or business, as we pointed out. This card, on the other hand, this major arcana card, when you see these cards, that's letting you know that there is some major issue, not necessarily a danger or anything to be worried about, but something that you definitely need to be paying attention to. Now, the Hermit, you can look at this card and kind of see what's going on here. He is in a gray cloak. He's holding a staff. So again, we see the theme of the staff with the element of fire, taking action, and he has a lantern. He's walking alone on a path. He's solitary. The Hermit is about seeking solitude. The Hermit is about spending time getting to know yourself, being acquainted with and aware of your own personal strengths and limitations. A lot of times, sometimes we go through situations in life where we feel that we are alone, that we have no one to turn to, or whatever the case may be. Maybe that's true, or maybe you just feel like that. Maybe, you have people around you actually, but you don't feel like you can connect to them. Or you may be in a situation where you are actually alone, where you don't have people to confide in or people that you can trust. In either of those situations, I want to let you know that it's really okay. It's not as bad as it seems. It's not as bad as you think it's going to be. And I encourage you to have a positive outlook about, the situation that you find yourself in. This card is letting me know that you need to take time, again, to get comfortable with yourself. Pay attention to your intuition. Start listening to it. Start practicing with the tarot every day if that's something you're interested in, or start paying attention to your astrological charts. Get a reading by someone that does charts that you trust, that can give you more insight into yourself, and it will help you understand why you are motivated to do the things you do, why you have certain issues that you have. This card is really about introspection, which is turning your eye away from what is outside of you and focusing internally, walking that path of the sage, walking that path that seems lonely, but when you get to the end of it, which as long as you're alive, actually there's never really an end to the knowledge that you can learn and apply about yourself, but you will get to a point where you level up, so to speak. And when you get to that point, what you will find is that you meet yourself. Speaking from personal experience, this is a very important thing to keep in mind. You have to take time daily to learn yourself, to know yourself, and ultimately to love and accept yourself. And this card is showing you that there's something that you need to be focusing on. If you have been neglecting it, please do not do that anymore. And if you are pursuing it, then please continue to do so, because there are some very good results for you there, and ultimately it will usher you into the next phase of your journey. And the card is about having balance, because he's in the gray cloak, and the gray cloak signifies being balanced between black and white, dark and light, etc., etc. So you have to, go into yourself to find balance between your emotions, between your feelings, between your desires, and between the things that you want. It will help you have balance in your life. I hope that this reading has been of a benefit to you, and if you ever want to get any more readings, please feel free to reach out to me on Facebook at Magic and Progress, or at I am Haley N. Smith. You can email me, message me, and okay,